So as some of you may know, Niki is also my business partner at the Loft Girls, but Niki brings to the table a really unique side of expertise as the manufacturing company. So tell me a little bit about the company that you work with your dad at Willy Dogs.
Yeah, so we manufacture food trucks and hot dog carts. And I I sell food trucks, that's my day job, but I know a ton about these food trucks, which is obviously kind of inspired our business.
Well, it's interesting because I've known Niki for a long time and we're best friends, so this is like really formalized, but it's fun because I actually don't know a ton about the manufacturing business. It's food trucks, it's a mobile business. It's becoming very popular, the mobile food trucks, and now we're starting a Loft Girl. Well, the Loft Girls is a mobile fashion truck. How has manufacturing been really influential in starting your own business? Because we're doing it together, but how has manufacturing helped you with starting your own business?
I think because I see things being built from the right to completion.
Yeah.
I have a great idea about how much things cost and bottom line.
That's why I hired her. We work together.
Manufacturing is a pretty straightforward kind of industry. It's very cut to the chase. Yeah. I work basically only with men, so it's super. It's a different world.
And you see a lot of things that people don't see on the outside. Like, I was thinking when I first went to Willy Dogs, to the manufacturing plant, you see, like you said, it starts from the very bottom, how things are built, the prices, how we can take something and actually put it out into the public. Tell us a little bit about so these food trucks, what happens? You make them for who are some of your customers?
Well, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, which I love, a lot of startup companies, a lot of marketing companies, but personally I like working with entrepreneurs, and that's kind of what got me thinking about us doing a business, because I'm seeing people bring their dreams to life in a truck. It's mobile.
It's moving a lot. Now, do you think, and I think we've had conversations about this, we're doing a fashion truck and there's food trucks. Have you seen, are people asking for trucks in different industries to use on the road?
Yeah, I just quoted another fashion truck for someone in Toronto.
Really good.
And it was
we need to talk about this.
It was I was pricing them out on funny things like fake bricks, and it was giving me ideas for us actually. But
awesome.
Yeah, so I'm quoting fashion trucks. What else? Have a jewelry truck, a barber truck, which I think is really neat. But a lot of people are taking their businesses mobile, and I think it's cool because it's a great way to start something with lower overhead costs, and it gives you mobility, obviously. You can go to your clients. It's great.
And we were talking about this, the consumers, it's changing the relationship now. When you want to buy something, you can buy online or you can go to a store, but this is a whole idea. You're rolling up to their doorstep or to where they're going, and you're serving your customer in a whole new way, right? So you're finding out what they want and you're coming to their doorstep. So you've been working, how long have you been working with building the food trucks?
Almost 4 years.
4 years. Launching off to start your own, what's been the scariest you've seen from the ground up your dad starting the company and running it and seeing, all the things that most people don't know, what goes on behind the scenes of especially manufacturing. What's been the scariest thing for you starting your own business?
Putting myself out there. As you mentioned before, rolling up to customers is kind of scary, the fear that no one's going to care about what we're doing, that no one's going to show up, and that's slowly changing for me. I'm getting better about it, but it was funny. We have that conversation about the DJ when you wanted to hire a DJ for our launch party, and I was like, no, it's too much attention on us. So I think just this fear of not being successful or people not caring about what we do,
and
we're
we've talked about that.
Track, so.
Well, you create this huge thing. We're excited about it, and then you worry okay, even though we're really excited, are people going to come and show up? And you're thinking, but I think we're saying
we spend so much time plugging ourselves and
doing all these things. Now, what have you learned though after time? What do you notice though?
That we're doing a pretty good job at what we're doing.
I'm so proud of us. But no, for you, I've noticed that over time you're getting less worried.
I'm getting more confident in talking about the business. I'm more excited about it because as we get more positive feedback, I feel good about it.
Yeah, and I think it takes time. Over time, you start realizing people are excited about new things and they want to support it. And I think anyone out there, you have an idea. I think that there's people like, me and Niki, you are nervous when you start something, but I think that that's what pushes you to work harder and to deliver what people are looking for. And it's nice. It's the scariest thing, but it's a blessing, right? And it's been really, really good for us. You've worked with a lot of customers all over the world. You've sent trucks to Dubai, to Europe, all over North America for the mobile industries. What advice, because there's probably some of you thinking about, considering running your own food truck, starting your own business, your mobile business, what can you offer them? What is some pieces of advice? What are the most common questions people are asking you?
People ask me all the time, all my customers ask me about events, where they should be, how they can make the most money, how much money can they expect to make. That's a huge fear for people, that they're not going to do well, same as us. But I think really the most important thing with mobile businesses is social media is huge for it. Our business couldn't exist without it, I don't think.
And I think that's a huge thing. And we talk about how being in Kingston, a small town, is so powerful. It's word of mouth. We can be reaching people, but people don't know you exist, especially if you're on the move all the time, right?
Yeah.
You're not having the foot traffic coming by. So you would say putting yourself out there, a lot of social media.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Is there any medium that you've noticed that people work best with? Because I know we were talking about this, Twitter used to be a thing it was a really big events thing you put out for events. It's a little more business. What have you found most of your customers are using?
Well, we don't really use Twitter, but I think Instagram is good for us.
Yeah, but for other food trucks, other clients you've worked with, Facebook is powerful. Well, now Facebook's owning Instagram. That's awesome. Now it's funny because I'm asking you because we haven't had the chance to actually talk to other entrepreneurs in partnerships, but this is new, right? Partnership is really exciting, but it's also, you share the workload, but there's challenges, right? And I know you're talking to me, but working with a huge company and running a whole bunch of other people, and then you're working just with me, say what you want, but what's been really nice about, what have you liked about working in a partnership?
Well, before doing this business, I never thought I would be involved in a partnership. I think people generally discourage it, but it's been great for us, and I think a big part of that is because we both bring different skills to the table. You're great for the business, it's a good match. I don't think all partnerships work, but... No,
they're tough, right? Because, guys, we have our quarrels. But I think the thing is being able to, understand what each person brings to the table,
honest,
right?
With each other.
Where you feel. Yeah. And I think one of the blessings, coming out of a partnership, I feel you learn a lot about yourself, right?
Yes.
Because you figure, okay, I'm really not that great at that, and
we have someone to push you. I find that you push me a lot.
You push me. Well, the practical side. Will you bring the neat thing about Niki too? Well, you are beautiful and stunning, and I love you, obviously. But there's a side to working with a partner that you get to see, going to the factory to see where Niki's right in there with all the guys. We did all the painting we were doing, and she's like, yeah, we can do this. And I think that's been really neat to see when you're working with someone else, you start learning other ways of doing it. And I think for you, you've always been a really hard worker, and you've been able to create something from the ground up, and that's why it's interesting about the manufacturing. You've started something, you see it from its very beginning, and you can see how it creates, because a lot of people have this idea. Do you think once people call you, they are very optimistic with creating a food truck?
Yes, I think people love a good deal, and they don't realize the amount of work that goes into these things. The amount of work that we put into our fashion truck, getting it going. I don't know what I thought it was going to be like. Painting it, putting down flooring, creating a change room. So many things come up that you don't even think about.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing to be able to create it, and we talked about bringing the people to come, but what, for you, you also have an amazing background in fashion, and I know a lot of people are like, I love her vest, she has great look. What inspires your fashion sense? your style?
I love street style.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not so interested in going somewhere like Urban Outfitters and pulling things off the rack. I'm more, I love secondhand shopping, borrowing things from people. I love sharing clothing. I'm interested in even what the guys wear in the shop. You know, their industrial wear, their Carhartts and stuff, Timberland boots. That was like my little shop inspiration.
Well, that's why it's really neat, because your style, it's really impacted my style too. I mean, I look at you and I'm inspired by you, and I think that's really neat. Is your fashion sense is really inspiration when you say it comes from the streets, and it's real people wearing interesting things, and you see that. What's now we've talked about this, but I want you to share. What are some of your fashion inspirations? Like who are some celebrities or people that you've we always joke about it, but it's true. What's the collection?
I think we think about certain people, and like even someone we see in real life that's a friend of ours, will be like, oh, we love how they wore that, and we'll find something like it and just pull it for the track and
put it together.
Yeah. So like Kate Moss, always. Yeah. Always stylish. Rihanna, just because she's super bold. I like that. I like when people just wear what they like, what makes them feel good. And it kind of comes from the heart.
And I think that's awesome, because your style is very unique. It's strong. It is bold. When people come to the truck, because you and me, we bring people into the truck, and I've never really asked you this, so this is all this is new still. But when people come into the truck, how do you not style your look onto them?
I think it's almost just a feeling. Like styling in general, you need to have an idea for how that person dresses. They're not going to be comfortable, maybe in a pink fur vest.
Not when it's 30 degrees in the truck.
And also, we have different styles. So I think when our clients come in and sometimes you're better at helping someone shop, or you know,
they identify with you, or they identify with me, or just even energy levels and what we're wearing at the time and what we're offering. No, it's interesting, because I know a lot of people out there that maybe you're interested in styling, and a lot of people are like, well, I have a good style, but not everyone wants to wear what I'm wearing or what you're wearing. But like you said, it's a feeling, and I think that if you're out there and you're like, yeah, I have a feeling, I know how to put a look together, then I think I encourage you, to do that, because we've noticed that when people come to the truck, you have a lot of women that really love the styling you give, but the help you give, the styling advice you give, you wouldn't even wear it yourself, maybe.
Totally.
Because it's
That's a good point.
It's a different. It's
not
a completely
everything in the
different
truck is something that I would wear, that you would wear, but we like to kind of engage with our clients that way and pick things that would be good for them, not just us.
Exactly. So. And I think taking the opportunity, I really want to, because this has been really exciting. We're in the first year of operation, and we set out with, we're going to do a fashion truck. And it's funny because it's evolved faster than we thought.
We didn't even think.
We didn't think. So we're, can you talk a little bit about what's happened in the off season? Because a lot of people say, are we running full season all year round? But Canada,
it doesn't really work with the truck
when it's
open.
minus 20 out and you're like, oh my goodness.
We tried it. Didn't work.
People don't really like coming in when it's freezing cold.
Trying things on, getting naked in the change room. No.
So I think. For cash flow and to be able to have a sustainable business, we're thinking, okay, we want to do this full time. Yeah. So let's talk about what's the expansion. This has been something you've taken a huge part and you've been amazing for. Can you talk about the expansion in the winter season?
Yeah. So like Claire is saying, we didn't want to be seasonal, right? So we kind of we came up with the idea of having a marketplace where other entrepreneurs an artist could share what they're doing, and not having the I don't think we realize, and this is really exciting, having the fashion truck. We thought, okay, it limits us will be May to October. Yeah. But then we're like, well, maybe people, if they like our brand, we started to realize if people really like the brand, then they might come in the off season. The idea almost happened as an accident, but we have the Loft Market on February 22nd, and it's going to be, I think, really good. We have a lot of interesting artists and artisans coming, and
And it
Just
doesn't
like the
have to be in the
local thing,
truck.
it's great.
It doesn't have to be in the
No.
truck. We've learned that if you build something awesome, which I like to think it's awesome, everyone, people will come, and we have a ton of other artists and specifically female entrepreneurs coming, and we're sharing, and it's a collective.
It's a collaboration for sure.
So the business went from, being a fashion mobile truck to really expanding to working with other entrepreneurs all around. So no, it's this is interesting because I'm interviewing my business partner, but I also, it's funny sitting here. I just love you more. I'm always learning something more and more about you. So to wrap this up, the last question, having a background in manufacturing, having a background in building your own business and starting and working in a partnership, what's one piece of advice you would, thinking about one of the women out there listening, what's something you can share with them?
About being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, what's a piece of advice you'd give to them?
I would say that if you have an idea that you think will work, that you're passionate about, if you just put yourself out there, talk to other like-minded entrepreneurs, bounce ideas off of people, don't stray too far from what your passion is. Don't take everyone's advice, but I think you need to put yourself out there, and you got to put the work in.
Yeah, and that's what I admire about you, and I think that's great, putting it out there, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
making the time. If you have a full-time job, like a lot of people do starting a business, making the time, not.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I mentioned this in another episode, that, busiest people seem to be the best time.
Get the most time.
Yeah, get the most time because they really are efficient, and you epitomize that, right?
Well, I do believe that an idea isn't really anything until you actually do something with
Execution
it.
is key. Niki, this is so exciting because I feel thanks for being a part of this, and thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more. Come here. Oh, thanks, girl.